Jimmy, you put it on
The
the
Raptors
bench.
come away with a great win over the Golden State Warriors. 133-118 is your final. Welcome to Raptors Tonight. I'm Randy Urban, joined by Jack Armstrong, Sherman Hamilton, and Leo Rautins. Sherman, I'm going to start with you. Things got a little dicey for the Raps in that third quarter, but they quickly regained control in the fourth. What stood out to you during that punchback?
Oh, I just looked at this Golden State team, and you could see they had holes all over their defense. And the Raptors, they got in good rhythm early. RJ started early. This team knew that they could score. So even when Golden State made a push, the Raptors knew at some point they could get easy buckets against this Golden State Warrior defense, and they did that. And I just thought that they built up such a confidence in the first half with the way they scored the basketball that there was never a reason to panic to think that you couldn't score. And we see Golden State in this game not be that potent offensive juggernaut that we're used to seeing them be. So that creates confidence as well. But I just think this Golden State team is in a bad situation in terms of how they're built and what's happening with Draymond Green and the fact that they don't have the ancillary pieces to help them out right now. And the Raptors were just a better team tonight, did a better job executing through the first punch regularly and often. And the third quarter wasn't enough to deter what they were able to accomplish.
Leo, that was a pretty impressive first half for the Raptors. What was key to getting out to that 27-point lead?
Well, I just thought they did a great job of dictating tempo, right? I think, Jack, you made the point in the pregame about, you play the same pace preparing for this game with Sacramento was a good prep. And, you want to get out and play with pace. And I thought, quickly tried to establish that right away. Barrett, I should say RJ Barrett did a great job as well. He was being aggressive. He was trying to get in, do what he can. They had rim runs for all the bigs. Scotty had a rim run. Jakob Poeltl did a good job of getting out. So obviously it starts with your defense, but they got the rebound and they took off. And I think, we've seen that now enough, even pre-trade, that this is when this team plays their best, when they play with pace and really be aggressive, getting that ball up the floor. And I think that really showed in this game.
Mm-hmm. Jack, what a great response game from RJ Barrett tonight. I know he had, some minutes on the bench that probably he wasn't happy with the last game, but today he was just outstanding.
Yeah, he sure was. He was just incredibly aggressive. And, you know what I liked about him and the Raptors in general? Early in the game, they really hunted down the matchups in the paint, and they went after it. I think R.J. Barrett was a big part of doing that. And I said this on the broadcast. And look, R.J. Barrett gives your team – we've talked so much about quickly. He gives your team another element with respect to OG Anunoby. He's a different type of player. Now, he's more of a risk taker as well. So there are going to be times you have to live with some of the risks that he likes to take. But he can put it on the floor a lot better, and he can get to places that can really make some good things happen for you. And we saw that tonight. Again, there's going to be some mistakes along the way. You're going to shake your head. But there are times when you have players with a lot of talent. Sometimes you got to live with some of that, because they get you to another gear that maybe you can't get to from a creativity standpoint. And this team's just more exciting, more fun now. I mean, you put him and Quickly on this team. I mean, they got juice, man. They're hooping.
Sherman, you could tell early on, as Jack mentioned, they were really trying to make Curry work in the post. Multiple times they were going at him when he was trying to D them up in that area. Do you think that impacted the way he played?
I want to say yes. I mean, he didn't have a good game at all, and you got to figure that the Raptors throwing size at him and then attacking him with size created some energy exertion on that end of the floor. And, Steph Curry is an all-time great player, the best shooter I've ever seen in the NBA in the world. But I tell you what, he's getting older. This team is different. And I thought the Raptors did a good job with a depleted roster, making sure that a guy like Steph had to work. Klay Thompson can't beat you anymore. In the past, he could shoot himself into games and win games for them. He can't do it anymore. And I think they knew the threat was Steph Curry. If he gets going, it's a problem. And they attacked him. Great game plan by Darko and great execution by guys like Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett. They did a good job staying in attack mode.
Mm-hmm. Leo, I thought the defense too on Curry was great. You know, they were face guarding both Klay Thompson and Curry, and I feel like it really disrupted what Golden State was trying to do offensively.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, you cut the head off the snake, right? I mean, Steph Curry's the one guy, and remember, it's different. It's a different team, right? There's no Draymond on the floor. Chris Paul's not there. Klay had a decent game, but he's still not the same Klay. So the pressure's on Curry. So the more pressure you can put on him, he's not getting the relief and the help. Remember that one playoff game? I forget which one it was. The Raptors won the game. Klay was out, and Steph just went crazy. He dropped 40-something, right? And he was able to just physically on his own almost will that team to win, even with the surrounding cast that he had back then. He doesn't have that surrounding cast. And at his age now, it's those games where he can will his team to win and carry them the whole game and just keep going are going to be fewer and far between. So the Raptors did a great job of just saying, hey, we're just not going to let you do it. And it's got, somebody else is going to have to step up.
Jack, was there anything that stands out about the defense that maybe we haven't been accustomed to seeing before the trade happened?
Well, tonight in particular, I think I look at how the first half went in Sacramento the other night and the second half. And I think when they really put their mind to it to defend incredibly aggressively on the perimeter, good things start to happen. And to me, I think that's ultimately what it's all about, is that you have to do a good job in this league in particular, guarding on the perimeter. And I'm such a big believer in the fact that you add a second start. Now, this team without OG, they might not have that one stopper. I just think you're in a league, to me, you're in a league that's an offensive league. So you got to get timely stops. I don't necessarily think you got to be picturesque all the time. But I think Coach Starko's really trying to hold them to a high standard. He had that quick timeout, if I'm not mistaken, early in the third quarter where they gave up a three, and then bang, they went on a nice run. But to me, I just think it's about this team has enough defensive potential to be good. I don't know about great, but they could be good. But offensively, there's another gear here now that we haven't seen.
Yeah, and Sherman, another really solid outing from Chris Boucher tonight. I think he looks especially settled with his decision making.
Yeah, Chris has been a pro, man. I mean, you think about it. He was playing a lot of minutes. He wasn't playing games. And then you see Porter getting minutes off the bench first. And Chris Boucher has done nothing else but come into the game, provided energy. He's been able to score in ways, like you're saying, Randy, where it's not him trying to force his offense. The plays are coming to him, and he's making plays. And defensively and on the glass, he's being that energizer guy. So he's doing a great job, and it's good to see him continue to play at a high level. And when he plays at a high level coming off the bench, he really helps his team. And I like the fact that on the perimeter, and Jack mentioned this is a perimeter game where you've got to be able to defend on the perimeter. Chris Boucher, we've seen him block many three-point shots, and he's able to move on the perimeter so you don't really get compromised when he switches on to a smaller player. So he's just been a true pro. I'm happy for him. He's doing a great job when he comes into the game. And now his consistency is something that the Raptors look forward to because it helps them put those W's on the sheet.
Leo, I want to talk about Jakob Poeltl for a second. Another good game for him, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He was a plus 21 in his 31 minutes. How has the trade impacted his effectiveness on the floor?
Well, he knows how to play with people, right? He knows how to play off of people. So he can work him and quickly have it's just seemed like a seamless transition to playing with each other. I think he reads RJ well. He gives him passing lanes. He kicks out for shots. He knows what he wants to do on the floor. He had one play early in a game where RJ dribbled down the ball. Jakob had a rim run. He pinned his man, gave RJ the lane. He missed, but he turned right around and finished it. So, I think he's just playing at a really high level. And I just think that these guys are helping him do what he does. Because the more speed, the more energy you play with, I think it allows him to kind of do more things out there than when it gets stagnated. And the other thing, I'm just worried about that ankle. He went down at ankle. He played through, but those are, you guys played. I mean, those are one of those where you might wake up tomorrow morning and go, it's not feeling that good.
I just want to not correct one thing, but I just want to shout out Boucher. I'm looking at the box score right now, 7 for 7 from the field, which is not just a solid game, a great game from him. I also thought, Jack, Emmanuel quickly, distributing the ball was a real key to getting this offense going early on.
Yeah, what did he have? 9 assists in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, his playmaking was terrific. And to me, I think that was a bit of a question. People, kind of more of a scoring-minded guard. Does he have the playmaking chops? I think he's a guard. Is he a 1? Is he a 2? I think he's a guard. You look at all these Kentucky guys, Devin Booker, and obviously Jamal Murray, Maxey, and these guys are they do everything. And he's cutting that same mold where, I don't know, it's the old days like in the schoolyard, shirts and skins. You choose up sides and you go, all right, I'll take that guy on my team. I don't know if he's a 1 or a 2. I know he's going to hoop. I know he's really good. And he just makes good basketball plays, whether it's a scoring play, a passing play. He does it. And to me, I think he's just a really good, well-rounded, well-balanced player.
Real quick, Sherman, we got about 20 seconds. Draymond Green gets essentially 12 games for punching Yusuf Nurkic. Are you comfortable with that number?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think it actually wasn't a punch. It was a flop that intentionally hit Yusuf Nurkic. But yeah, I'm good with that. He's done his thing. He's kind of, in a situation now where he's hurt his team significantly. I feel like the Warriors have paid the price as well for his decision to be that person in that place. So I'm good with it. And I hope this is the end of it for Draymond Green. And if it isn't, then you got to give him a stiffer penalty. But at some point, that message has to get through that not only are you hurting yourself, you're hurting your team, but you're also hurting the league, because we want to see the best players on the floor as much as we can. And he's one of the best players for Golden State.
Great stuff as always tonight, guys. Next game for the Raptors, Tuesday against the Los Angeles Lakers. Tip-off goes at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, Raptors Tonight will go live on YouTube shortly after the game. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.